Welcome back, everyone. Okay, let's continue with the assembly. Okay, now when it comes to these pylons, this area is the weakest point right here. You get glue on that, it turns into rubber. So what we're going to have to use is some epoxy. In my case, I'm going to be using some Gorilla Glue, but I'm going to snip those off and replace them with this polystyrene. It's the perfect thickness because when you put these two together, they're this thick and it fits perfectly into the slot there. No issues at all. And there'll still be a little bit of room for the wiring to go down because I'm not going to cut this in half or anything. So I'm going to probably have the line start right about up here, and then I'm going to angle it to go down into the hull. So that'll take care of that. Okay, so we got this here. I'll probably start right about here. I still want this to go down fairly far into the model itself. So I'm just going to angle this a bit. I'll just heat it up, and then when it turns a little bit soft, I can manipulate it to turn it. And then the wiring will go down. Let's see if I have this on the back corner here. I just have to re-gouge up here and run the wiring down into the model. Just like that. So I just gotta grind down the plastic, get rid of those to be able to fit this in here. I'll have to do it for both sides to make enough room for the extra thickness that's going in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna trim away the plastic here to make this a little easier to fit in. I'm just going to do it on this side, and it should be ready. So I got them ground out on both sides there. Fits in quite nicely. Just got to let that set. And then I can get ready to put those on to the warp engines, run the wires down, then I can put the two halves together. There we go. Just gotta let that set. Just use regular glue in there. I'll be using the Gorilla Glue here when I go and connect it to the secondary hull. Looks like this is going to hold quite nicely. So I guess I use the Gorilla Glue as well for this side when I go to put this top on. And that'll take care of that issue. It's looking really good though. While waiting for everything to set, I just went and put the shuttle together. Now just gotta let all this set. Right, we got the warp engines there together. You see, I covered over the areas where the light was still bleeding through. Little spots here and there. After I sanded the join lines together, and then I did use the intermediate blue, fill in the areas to stop the light bleeding through. And you just need to cover the front and the sides of the warp engine with the masking tape, just so you can get the painting done. Just a little touch-ups here and there, probably take a couple of coats on both sides. And then we're looking good. And right, we got the warp engines there together. You see, I covered over the areas where the light was still bleeding through. Okay, so these are now all ready to go. I got these are done now. So I just need to get the wires in place there. And then we can put the two halves together. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. This goes this way. This one goes this way. Okay. And then get the wires run down here. And then get those put together. Alright, those are done. Just gotta let those set now. Let's get the neck on the bottom of the primary hull. So I'm going to be using Gorilla Glue for this part here. It's notoriously weak, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I just need to run the one line, the phasers, down through the neck. And then these two lines are the main lines where the main power comes up, lights everything up. And I will tie those eventually into here. Okay, so I just need to mix some of this up. Grab my, where is it? Need to get something to clamp down on here, and that'll hold that in place. Okay, looks good. Put that on there. Figure out a spot to put that on. Okay, just gotta let that stuff set now. Alrighty, looking not too bad. A little bit of touch-up painting here and there. But one thing I forgot to do, which is actually a pretty big deal, is I have to install a 5-volt regulator. Which means all of these other lights here like this, and the navigation, or the thrusters, all have to come off of this line, and they have to go through here, through the regulator, because it helps to reduce the amperage. All of this has to come off of these lines. So I'll probably put the regulator over here somewhere. So it'll just help increase the life of these LEDs. So let's get this all set up here. Okay, so I took these off of there. That can stay. All of these have to come off here too. For the navigation flashing, once I build the circuit for it, I'll put it right in here, and that will also go through the regulator. These main lines here do not put on the regulator because they need the voltage to light up. Okay, so for this pin here is the power in, the center pin is the ground, and the this pin here is the power out. So the grounds and the positive lines go to these two, and the main power going in here. So let's see here. Just so it looks like that, so I can, now I just got to wire it all up. Alright, so I got the main lines coming in here, negative to the center pin, the positive going to that side, and all the negatives for all the lights that require the regulator go to the center pin, the positives to the power out. Let's do a quick light test to make sure it's all going to work. Good. Very good. And we got these lines here that connect to all the power for the top of the hull. Very nice. Now I used some Gorilla Glue and I glued this to a little bit of a padding here. There is a small amount of heat that comes off of that. It's not enough to melt the plastic, but I got this on there. It's like a precautionary thing. So while that sets, let's get these pylons, warp engines of pylons, installed into the secondary hull. Alright, so I added some extensions on here because they just weren't long enough. Now I'm using the Gorilla Glue to hold these pieces together. So just mixing it up here. Get it down inside there. Now I'm just going to cake it on there because I want it to fit and I want it to stay in place like it's supposed to. Okay, so I'm just going to put this one off to the side. I want this thing sticking right through. I want to get that glue right down into the crack so it fills it right up. So I got that one off to the side now to let it set. Got the first board there done. Looks good. Let's do a light test. Looks good. All right. So that takes care of the strobe and navigation. I just got to build 2 more circuits for the phasers and torpedoes, and we are rocking. All right, got them all done there at the phasers, navigation, and the strobe. Don't need any for the torpedoes. They're just going to be hooked into a plunger switch. So there you go. So this one will go down into the stand. This one goes into the primary hull. Just going to get this regulator in place here. Now, this here will go right about here. Something like that. Make sure it. Okay. So I'm not going to interfere with anything right there, so that's good. All right. Just don't want any of this stuff interfering with the pins on here. Okay, now I can tie these power leads into the regulator here, and we are ready to go to hook these up to the navigation and strobe lighting. Okay, so I got the navigation here to run down the neck to the secondary hull. Just got to do the same here for the strobes. That'll run down there as well. And so got it all hooked up there. Let's do a test. Good. It's blinking, flashing quite nicely. Good. All right. And before I get too much more done on this, I want to get all the switches and the power supply and everything all installed here in the stand. All right, so I got the main power here, the AC, DC, and I got 2 plunger switches for the torpedoes and the phasers. Alright, so I'm going to put the power probably right about here on the back. And then I'll have like a plunger here, plunger switch here. And then I'll have like maybe the main power here. So the main power, jack in, power on off, plunger switch here, and then this here go underneath here, which will work good. This is for the phasers. Now to get these 2 plunger switches in, I'm going to put them right in here. Okay, so let's get this in place. I put it right up here. Alright, I got this so far. I got the positive lead going from here to the switch, and I got the power there. Still got to run a positive from here to here. I think this is the positive line right here. Got to go to this terminal. The negative here goes to this. The positive line here, see, I'll have this here as the phasor, so positive goes there. This goes to the negative lines, and I still have to get the rest of the wiring run through here. It's coming along. So with the stand all but ready, we can start doing some more assembly here. Okay, starting with the primary hull, let's get these two halves together, but I gotta run these lines to the corresponding spots and go from there. I'm gonna hook up the wiring for the thrusters first. And then for the strobe, hooking up the upper navigation lights. Quick light test. Good. All right, so I got that heat shrink on all the ends there. Got these lines run down, that's good. The phaser lines run down. Green power coming up, powering everything else. Let's see, we're pretty much ready now to put these two halves together. And there we go, everyone. This puppy is getting there, man. Looking good. But sorry to say that's it for this episode. In the next one, we are going to continue the assembly. Please like, subscribe, comment, don't forget to share, and click that notification bell for any future uploads. I'll see you all again later. Bye-bye.